All right, I call to order the Millersville Board of Commissioners regular meeting Tuesday, August 17th, 2021 at 5:30 p.m. If everyone would please stand for the pledge and the invitation.
Father, we come to you this afternoon asking your blessings on this meeting. We ask that you be with each and every one here at this meeting. We ask that you be with our commissioners, our leaders of the city. Thank you for all the many blessings you bestowed upon us. Thank you for your Son, Jesus Christ. In his name we pray. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item number 3, approval of minutes of the July 20th, 2021 regular commission meeting. Call for a motion.
Move that we approve the minutes of the July 20th, 2021 regular commission meeting as presented.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion or corrections? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 4, approved July 2021 financial report. Call for a motion.
Move that we approve the July 2021 financial report as presented.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 5 is a public hearing on ordinance 21-760 to amend the city of Millersville official zoning and land use map to amend heavy commercial HC zoning district to general commercial GC zoning district. I'll now open for a public hearing if there's anyone that wishes to speak. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Item number 6, second reading of ordinance 21-760 to amend the city of Millersville official zoning and land use map to amend heavy commercial HC zoning district to general commercial GC zoning district. Call for a motion.
Move that we approve on second reading the ordinance 21-760, which is to amend the city of Millersville official zoning and land use map to amend heavy commercial HC zoning district to GC general commercial zoning district for the corridor from the city limits with Goodlettsville south on 31W up past, I guess it's up past what road is this? Atlas Fowler Road.
Yep. I'll second the motion.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. It's going to be a roll call vote. Commissioner Template?
Yeah.
Commissioner Gregory?
Aye.
Commissioner Long?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Bell?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Motion carries unanimously. Item number 7, public hearing on ordinance 21-762 to rezone 1126A-B Louisville Highway heavy commercial and estate residential to general commercial. I'll now open for a public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Number 8, second reading ordinance 21-762 to rezone 1126A and B Louisville Highway heavy commercial and estate residential to general commercial. Call for a motion.
Move that we approve on second reading ordinance 21-762, which is to rezone 1126A/B Louisville Highway heavy commercial and estate residential ER currently to general commercial GC.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. It'll be a roll call vote. Commissioner Template, Commissioner Gregory,
Aye.
Commissioner Long,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Bell,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The motion carries unanimously. Item number 9, public hearing on ordinance 21-763 to close Denson Lane and Florence Lane and post as a not a through street. I'll now open for public comments. Anyone wishing to speak?
Okay, my name's Milton Doris. Y'all know me.
What's your address, man?
1501 Highway 31W. I'd just like to say that that road has been in existence for years. I think it was built in like 1914. It was called the Dixie Highway to begin with, and then it was changed to Louisville Highway, and it was a state road. And when the U-31 come through, they just cut a lot of curves and everything out. But it was still a state road that was built originally. And I like to say that I don't see any need to change closing the road, because there is citizens here in this city that uses that road and uses it a lot. I know I do it. I use it every day. So I'm just one citizen in this city. I understand that. But I still feel like the road is beneficial to this city, and it just needs to be paved. It's not a road that has to be paved every year, every 2 years, every 3 years, but it does need to be kept up for the citizens of this city. And I'm just asking for the city to keep the road open in order for the citizens of this city to use it. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Mary McGee. I live at 7761 Bethel Road. And our property runs behind Milton's. And if you close that road down, it's going to decrease the value if we ever decide to sell. And two, if there is emergency in the middle of the night for electricity goes out, my husband is on kidney dialysis. And if our electricity gets shut off, then that's going to mess up with his health. And, you know, if we get another snow blizzard like we had a few years ago, nobody can get out, unlock the gate. And not just the electricity comes down that road, but the water does too. And sewer. And I would just like for y'all to consider keeping it open for utility reasons and for my husband's health.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing no one else, I'll close the public hearing. Item number 10, second reading of ordinance 21-763 to close Denson Lane and Florence Lane and post as a not a through street. Call for a motion.
Move that we approve on second reading the closing of Denson Lane and Florence Lane and post it as a not a through street.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Discussion. At this time, I'd like to make an amendment, offer an amendment, or move an amendment to exclude Florence Lane from this current ordinance. What we would have to do in paragraph 1, we would remove the 3 words "and Florence Lane," and in paragraph 3, remove the 3 words "and Florence Lane" there. What we'd be doing would be closing Denson Lane as previously discussed, but the Florence Lane, we would leave it for determination later. There's some issues that have come up that we noticed in our search of the tax assessor's office that I think I made the city manager aware of it, that we need to check into it a little bit further, and also check with the Sumner County Road Commission.
I'll second that motion.
Motion has been made and seconded to amend ordinance 21-763 to exclude the words "and Florence Lane." Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote, and it'll be a roll call vote
On the motion.
on the motion to amend. Commissioner Template?
Aye.
Commissioner Gregory?
Aye.
Commissioner Long?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Bell?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Now back to the main motion. Is there any further discussion on the main motion for ordinance 21-763 to close Denson Lane and post as not a through street? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote, and it'll be a roll call vote. Commissioner Template?
Aye.
Commissioner Gregory?
Aye.
Commissioner Long?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Bell?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Motion carries unanimously. Item number 11, citizens' comments. Anyone wishing to speak? I just need your name and address.
Thank you first.
If you don't mind.
If you don't mind, Bill.
Milton Doris, 1501 Highway 31W. And I appreciate the input that y'all offered to keep that road open. And I think it's a great asset to the city in the future, because there is 9 acres back there that could be developed at any time. And I appreciate y'all's concern. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, please. If you don't, we might not be able to hear you.
Oh, you hear me? Kathy Goolsby, and I live in Hillside Estates. And I mean absolutely no disrespect to you all, none. But my concern is, what are you all doing to see that this out here gets paved? That's so nice at the top of the hill. This on 31K is like running an obstacle course.
About all we can do is put in requests to the state. That is a state road. We have no control over paving it or when it gets paved.
Has that been done? Have you all asked for that?
Let me address that. We stay in contact with TDOT on that and a number of issues, and I have been in numerous meetings where they've been in attendance, and we've talked about the everything from the expansion of the I-65 when the traffic is going to come off onto Bethel down on 31W, and that they need to be looking and planning on doing something to this road down here. The paving is being done right now is a TDOT initiative, it's a TDOT program. So whenever they get this part of the road in the plans, they will do something with it. They haven't told us when, but we are talking to them all the time.
Is this at the top of the hill, not Millersville city limits? I was under the assumption that
It is.
It is. It doesn't always have to do with the city limit line. They determine different lengths of road in different places. And my understanding is that this part of the 31W is tied into the completion of I-65, because they know there's going to be a lot of work down here.
Well, again, there's no disrespect, but you've got this gorgeous city hall here. And then you've got animal trail out here for us citizens to travel on. And again, no disrespect, that's just telling it like it is.
One thing you can do is you can call TDOT and lodge complaints with them. We do it all the time.
That was my question.
We're always in contact with TDOT. Believe me, we asked to get it paved way before the citizens start asking to get it paved.
Well, we're begging now.
TDOT moves at their own pace, and it's
Of course
usually
they
not
do.
very rapid.
Of course they do. I can see 5 and 6 standing around watching one person work, so of course they do. But my next question is, that paper that I gave you all a couple meetings ago, what did you all determine about this, the ruling of that?
Well,
How is it?
It's funny you brought that up, because we did look into it, and at a couple of meetings back, I explained to the commissioners that it has been reviewed by the TDEC, Tennessee Department of Economic and Community Development, also their environmental and conservation departments, their mining permitting office, their stormwater permitting office, and they agreed that the initiatives that were taken by the company were within the standards, and that as long as they weren't mining, and they are, whatever they're doing is not considered mining, and they're okay to be permitted. But we were concerned about the stormwater running into the creek, and that was permitted by their permit. They are required to do a certain amount of testing, and that they have to send off the samples to the lab and turn it to the state, and they will keep us informed of what's going on. So,
Did you question anything about them saying that it had been re-permitted for quarry? I mean, I think that's what was on that paper, was it?
It's-
I can't remember right now.
It's not permitted as a quarry. I know that for a fact.
it's permitted for what they call a borrow pit, VORROW.
See, I
borrow
remember
pit.
seeing that on that letter.
That's
Of course,
that's
I
in.
got it.
I have the full permit. If you want a copy of it, I can provide you that. It's 30 pages long.
I don't want that. I
You
just
a
want to
copy
make
of
sure
it?
that it's not a rock quarry and that we're going to get blasted.
No, ma'am.
And
We're
we're going to eat dust again,
No.
but that's my concern.
no, ma'am. They're not going to be doing that.
Okay.
There's not a dust problem going on at present, is it?
No,
Good.
no, sir. Y'all took care of that, and I did see trucks down there at different times to monitor what was going on with it, and we appreciate that. I really appreciate that. At least I can breathe when I go out
Yes,
and
ma'am.
not have to worry about asthma. So,
Yes,
thank you all very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And we will be getting in touch with T-Dot.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, that's great.
Anyone else? Seeing none, I'll close the citizens' comments, commissioners' comments. Anybody?
Okay. I don't.
City manager's comments.
I've got a couple of things. Some of it's commissioner housekeeping. Just want to make sure everybody's tablets are working, and that you all are okay with continuing to get your data and agendas on email, so you can review it on the tablets.
That's good. Yeah.
We'll keep sending those out unless someone asks for a paper copy. I probably won't be doing any more paper copies if you ask for them. If it's large copies that we can't get onto an email, we'll provide that. Bear with us, need your patience. We're still working on some of the AV systems that we purchased, and we're having to relook into some of those things. So just bear with us. Thanks to the audience today for giving us some silence while we set up the AV. Sometimes it's a little tricky. All the sounds that are made in the audience creates a noise on the camera, and they don't know which way to look. So I had to ask you all to be quiet for a few minutes. And we'll probably be doing that at most of our meetings. About 5 or 10 minutes before the meeting starts, we'll ask everyone to be very quiet so we can set up the cameras and set up the AV. Just wanted to mention that we have got a couple of new hires coming on. One person has already come on board. Our event coordinator, Lisa Prentice, has started at the community center, and we expect to have Vanessa Johnson coming in as the assistant recorder. And I believe she's coming in on Monday the 23rd. The work session for September, we're going to move it up a week. It'll go to Monday, September 13th instead of the 6th, because that's a holiday. So we're just going to keep it on a Monday. I'll get the word out to everybody. So just don't come on the first Monday. It'll be on the second Monday. We'll be finalizing the personnel policy at that first work session, and hopefully have it ready to approve at the regular meeting in September. Once we do that, we'll start on the police department standards, SOP, standard operating procedure, and we should be able to get through that pretty quick. Police department's been working on that pretty diligently, so we'll be ready for that. I've been in discussion with a potential retail operator, West Power and Supply. They show some interest in moving to the city. They're going to be looking at our property that the city owns on 31W and Bethel Road. We had a meeting with them already. We're going to meet with them again and hopefully provide them as much insight and information as they can to make a decision to move to that operation, and then move their operation there. It hasn't been finalized, but they're certainly looking at it. City Court is still going to be held at Community Center for another month. We're working on moving City Court here. Because there are so many people scheduled for court because of the COVID and all the delays, we're going to have a serious parking problem up here if we start having court here right away. So we ask everyone's indulgence to continue to have court at City Hall, at the Community Center for at least a month, maybe 2 months. I am asking OHM and others to look at maybe adding some parking to our area down in front of the City Hall, the grass area, and making that a parking space. We've just got to make sure that we plan that properly because that's where the sidewalk is coming through. And speaking of the sidewalk, we did get notice to proceed with 30% engineering on the sidewalk grant. So it's moving forward, and we've got a lot of work still to do on that.
We got time. Have we got time? We're expecting to extend that.
It's been the state's delay, so if we do run short, they will extend that time for us. So
So good.
they've already given us a heads up on that. We had a home grant program here several years ago, 10 or 12 years ago. There is a property that's being sold in a home grant, the Maynard property on Slaters Creek Road. There is a prorated grant refund that is going to be pulled out at closing, and that money will be recouped and paid back to THDA. So it'll come through us. And in fact, Mayor, I've got a form I need you to sign before you get ready today. So that's all I have, unless you have any other questions. I'll turn it back over to the mayor.
Anybody? Motion to adjourn.
Move we adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned.
Hey, Tim, I've got that paper. I'm gonna run and get it.
All right.
Did you hand me the microphone? Clip up there on top.